90% of what you make, or even what you have yet to make, is going to suck. This could be for any number of reasons. Great idea, poor execution, shitty idea, even worse execution, or a boring idea with a great execution. An unfortunate fact about putting yourself in a position to be judged, especially at the beginning, is that people who could never bring themselves to do what you're doing feel a responsibility to submit a godlike response and say that it's bad. Those people are losers, but this video is not about the malevolent boredom that possesses them to say those things. It's about the fact that they might actually be right. What's up, dude? Welcome to the video. Today we're talking about becoming comfortable with the fact that most of what you make is going to be garbage. Now, as much as the feedback I was talking about a second ago sucks, it could actually be worse, because at least it's feedback. In some weird way or another, what you've done has engaged them, which has value. Truly, what I think would be worse is making things that nobody notices. And this doesn't have to be your fault. Your work could be fantastic and just underappreciated. The reason the lack of engagement sucks so bad is because you have absolutely nothing to base your process on. The feedback that you would or would not be getting is absent, so you're forced to keep making blindly. That's rough. Imagine playing a televised game of darts, and obviously you're supposed to hit a bullseye, but you are without arms and you're also blind. That's what it's like if I had to put it into words. But that's what I'm doing every time I upload a video. This channel is like microscopic. Most of my viewers are close family and friends, and as much as I appreciate their unwavering support, and believe me, I truly do, it's not unbiased. You know what I mean? Like, they want me to succeed. They watch these videos happy that I'm making them because they know what it means to me, or at least that's what they say. But then how does one manage the reactions of people that they don't know? People who do not care if you live or die, much less whether or not you're creating or what you're creating. This used to be a tremendous challenge for me after my childlike courage ran out. And I want to preface this, for reference, I've been making videos for a long time. Like a long time. Probably close to 10 years now. I started out doing silly, stupid, sketch comedy with my friends. I would take my mom's iPod and we would go shoot sketches. And then I later moved into real estate videography and things of that nature. But between that time of sketch comedy and the real estate videography, I always had YouTube on my mind. When I first started making videos, the sketches, I wanted to start a YouTube more than anything in the whole world, but my dad would never allow it. He didn't want me to be subjected to the faceless critics that the internet seems to harbor. And in his defense, and in retrospect, I'm really glad that he didn't let me put myself out there in that way, because if those videos existed for eternity on the internet, I'd be mortified. So I have no resentment towards him, but it did cause me to have to reevaluate my mindset on being exposed. This is something that seemed so unreasonably easy for childhood me. I truly wasn't afraid of anything anyone had to say about my videos. And that's probably because I thought everything I made was awesome. I had a very supportive mother. Since then, I have, generally for the most part, I've been able to relearn how to not care about other people's responses. But instead of it stemming from me thinking everything I make is awesome, it's pretty much exactly the opposite. These days, I assume absolutely everything that I make is shit. And the weird thing is, I wouldn't have it any other way. There's an unbelievable amount of freedom that comes with believing everything you make belongs in the garbage, even if it doesn't. Because what can a critical person say to me? Oh, dude, this is bad, man. This is really awful. Duh. Tell me something I don't know. I'm basically shitposting with intention, and you're engaging with it. Now we're both idiots. This might be a lot of words to say the all too overused, you have to fall in love with the journey bullshit, but I mean, what did you expect? Did you think that you were going to make your magnum opus every single time? That everything graced by your touch was going to be a masterpiece? Now, most likely you probably didn't think that, because that would be a psychotic line of thinking, but my point remains, we're all human beings looking to be understood by somebody, and most of the thoughts in our brains are generally uninteresting, but not all of them. Inside that brain of yours is something that someone doesn't even know they need yet, and until they find you, you have to create like you stand to gain nothing and like you stand to lose nothing. Because in some strange, unnaturally zoomed out way, that is kind of the case. You can either die with these thoughts, feelings, and emotions, or you can give them to somebody else. And the only way to know which of those thoughts were the important ones is to put everything on the table. I want you to imagine for a second that you dream of being an Olympic archer, right? And Olympic archers, that takes a lot of skill, a lot of precision to do that task, but it also takes a ton of practice. And now I want you to imagine that the practice that you're allowing yourself to have is one arrow shot every week. You probably wouldn't progress very quickly. You might not even progress at all. So instead, I'm suggesting that you practice every single day. Come up with new ideas every single day and produce them. Don't just leave them in your head or in a sketchbook in the corner of your room. Those ideas are important, but the most value that you get is not from any one idea. It's from the discography of all of your terrible ideas. Everything to look back on, that's all super, super important. And much like an aspiring Olympic archer, it takes a lot of shots to get good. That line of thinking applies to everything. And the only way to get a bullseye, I just realized now that I've used two analogies that are essentially the same thing, both the darts and the Olympic archer shooting the target. But the only way to get a bullseye without being extremely lucky is to put everything on the table. So here's my summary. Get over the idea that everything you make is going to be excellent. Because the fact of the matter is that 90, 95%, 99% is probably not going to be very good at all. But there is real, true, solid, tangible liberation in that. The freedom to make anything that you want without having to worry about whether or not it's good. Make it to be bad. Make it because it's bad. Make it in spite of it being bad, but make it regardless. But anyway, that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, all the shit YouTubers say, it's below. I'll put my socials on the screen, and I hope to see you at another one of my videos. Because as of right now, I think there's probably 5 or 6 on this channel. And if you like what I'm doing and you want to support it, you can go watch those ones next. I'll see you next time I decide to upload.